Hello, fam. Welcome to Plantish Live. I'm Nina Curtis. My co-host Sesabek Rando and I have a wonderful session for you today, and we are excited to have you join us. We are going to be celebrating Women's Wait for you to tap in with us. Tell us where you're joining in from. And we will be talking today with Ashley Kirk, the CEO and founder of Planted Foods, bringing plant-based foods and functional wellness together. I know you're going to love this conversation. Ashley has a beautiful story. It's inspiring, it's empowering, and it's right on point for this month as we continue to celebrate all the women that are doing such wonderful things in the world. We have 4 Tuesdays in this month, so go ahead and mark your calendars for 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have a lineup of women all month long that we know you are going to love learning about, hearing about, and connecting with. I know my co-host is coming in momentarily. I've realized that I wake up on Eastern Standard Time and I go to bed on Western Standard Time, and I need to get those two together. I see you, Chef. We love the technology that we have to dance with, and we do it graciously. We're going to get this party started. So just hang in and let us know. There he is.
Steph, how are you?
I am doing great. How are you?
I'm doing so well. Happy Women's History Month.
Yes, happy Women's History Month. Happy Tuesday, Taco
Yeah.
Tuesday. I was about to say Taco Friday. We're not there yet.
Not
I know I
yet,
want to be, but we're not there yet. We're going to get there,
for
though.
sure.
What's going on in your neck of the woods?
Just moving and grooving, getting in sync with spring. I'm so excited. The days are about to get longer again. So, yeah, I'm just flourishing and getting in sync. How are you?
I'm doing well. I don't know if you heard me say, I realize I go to bed on Eastern Standard Time, but no, so it's backwards. I wake up on Eastern Standard Time and I'm going to bed at Western Standard Time. I'm like, you got to get it together. It's somewhere in the middle. It's not connecting.
Chef, I need all of my 8 hours plus.
We've got to get that beauty sleep. I've never needed a lot of sleep,
Yeah,
but some days you just need to show grace, right? Show grace.
absolutely.
I love
Absolutely.
everyone's coming in. Thank you. As I said, we are celebrating and giving flowers. We give flowers and celebrate women at all times, but since they give us a month, we're going to take advantage of it and more.
Yes.
And we've got a lineup of four wonderful women doing wonderful things in the plant-based space because that's where we dance. But there are so many women out there. So if you join and you have a business, please share with us what you do, where you are. Ashley Kirk, the CEO and founder of Planted Foods, is going to be joining us, and she's created a product that uses planted foods and functional wellness together, and it's very unique. Sometimes we hear about, functional drinks and the adaptogens and all, but I really like Ashley's story and what she's going to be sharing with us. So I'm sure she will be joining us momentarily and we will get this party started. We always repost the replay so that if you can't stay with us, or we know people are working, you know that we're going to put it up later in the day so you can enjoy it. And then we grab some clips and highlights. So we're not letting anybody miss out on anything. And we'll
Absolutely.
see Chef. I'm just looking for her because I know she's here, but I'll see where she's coming in.
Yeah, I'm super excited about today's session and all the sessions we have for March. We just really highlight the brilliance in the plant-based world, and yeah, it's going to be great. You guys are so in for a treat. So just make sure you turn on your notifications and stay tuned because you just never know what's coming up with us.
Chef, what did you have for breakfast?
What did I have for breakfast? So I I'm training right now, so
Okay.
I went to the gym and I came back and I had some flatbread toast and some peanut butter.
Oh,
That's it.
that's it. Oh, and, and then that did it for you?
That did it for me. Like, I feel so good, and after this, I'm going to really get in there. I have some tofu marinating in the fridge, and I'm
Okay.
going to make a whole bowl just filled with some arugula. I have spinach. I have some kale. I'm going to mix that up. I have some Persian cucumbers. I'm going to air fry that marinated tofu with some dressings. And yeah, it's gonna all come together. Super clean, super delicious. And that's one of the common things I hear when people are switching over to a whole food plant-based diet or a vegan diet. They're like, oh, I can't have my good tasting food anymore. And it's like, no, everything comes together in your spice cabinet. And when you can use those spices and transport your taste buds to anywhere in the world, you can't go wrong.
Definitely not.
Absolutely.
Definitely not. I think the same. I haven't eaten yet. It's just 9 here on the West Coast. I don't usually get an appetite until 11 or noon.
Okay.
But, sometimes you get on Instagram and you start looking at food pictures or somebody pops up a food video and I'm like, well,
Yeah,
dang, now I am hungry. But I
exactly.
have to check myself and say, no, you're not. You're just looking at this food.
Yeah.
Hello, fam. Everyone's coming in. Thank you for
Welcome.
joining us. We are working to get Ashley in. When you have a business, you can you can often find things you don't expect that
Absolutely.
we just go with it because we know that it will work itself out. And she is going to join us momentarily. You see me looking at a million screens because that's what you do. There she is.
Welcome.
Hi.
Hi, welcome.
Welcome, Ashley.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so excited.
We've been
Yeah.
excited. You were like, who are these people stalking me forever and a day?
No, I of course I know about you, Chef Nina, and so I also looked you up as well, and I'm just like, oh my God, generations of being plant-based. So I had to do a little bit digging and learning about a little bit more about both of you guys, but I'm just like very thrilled, super excited. I have so much respect for your work in the industry, both of you, and so I'm just
Thank you.
grateful to be here. So thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. Well,
Thank you.
you look beautiful in your green, and that ties right in because we're going to get right in. We have a wonderful community, Ashley. They show love. They're from all over, not just the United States. We have people tapping in. So every so often, we're watching the comments so we can make sure if anyone has questions for you, they can get it answered while you're here with us live. That's what we love about Planters Live. We're trying to bring or bridge the gap of people that are producing foods or restaurants or leaders in the industry to those of us that are, fans and consumers and everything else. So as we get started, since you have your beautiful green on, tell us a bit about this living the green dream and what that means to you and how it motivated and inspired you to start Planted Foods.
Yes. So it's funny. I'm a California girl. I grew up in Oakland. And so California, we're always like California dreaming. We're always like kind of in that type of vibe. And so when I went vegan back in 2017, it was like life changing for me. And I shared my story about that. But as far as like coming to living the green dream and that being something that became part of my brand was because like my family, they would ask me like, oh, what are you up to? I'm like, I'm just living the green dream. Like I'm just like relaxing. I'm enjoying my life. And then they were like, the green dream. They're like, this vegan stuff is crazy because I'm a Black girl from Oakland, Southern roots. And so for my family, we did not have the healthiest diet. So they did not really believe in veganism. And they felt like it was something that could kill you. They're like, girl, you need to have some meat because it's not healthy. And I'm like, no, no, no. I'm telling you, when I changed my diet, like I was very early on, when I changed my diet, I felt a difference. And the truth is in how my body performs. It's not the noise on the outside. It's there's one moment that I felt really bad and had a lot of health issues. And now that I've changed what I consume, I'm not experiencing those things anymore. And so it was just like a term that I would say. And as I continued to like grow my business, from a pop-up restaurant in San Francisco to packaged products in boutique stores to working with Walmart. And now today, most of our sales are through companies. We work with corporations to put our products into their cafeterias, and we also do private labels. So not a lot of it is consumer facing. So there's been so much like change and growth with the business. And so it just felt fitting that I added that as part of our slogan and just a reminder of why I am doing this and why this business exists at all. And then the word green, it's just interesting because there was one point that it was just a color, right? And then it became a lifestyle. It was now a term that was synonymous with clean living, with eating healthy, with being mindful of consumption and recycling. It became a actual lifestyle. So it just really fit. And I'm so much of my brand. My company is me, and vice versa. And this is my lifestyle. So I put a lot of me into the business. And so it was only fitting that living the green dream was part of it.
Beautiful.
I love that. And
Yeah.
somebody says, I'm so proud of you, Nisi. So you have fam in here.
Hi, girl.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. And a lot of kisses coming at you and flowers. Tell us, just for those that don't know, what did you do before you started Planted Foods? And what was that inspiration? Did you wake up one morning and say, that's it, I'm leaving what I'm doing, I'm successful and all, and I'm going to go and start a new business?
So before this, I went to San Jose State and I had a company while I was in college. I was originally in school for psychology. I wanted to be a doctor. And so but I was also a very shy person. And so I started taking acting classes while in college because I wanted to push myself. And so as I started just expanding as Ashley, I started to learn what I was really good at. And that's when I determined that I could be really good in the business space. And I started my first company while I was in college. And it was, I like to call it the first Fashion Nova because I had these really trendy clothes that were brand new that you could buy at a reasonable price. And so it started at the flea market, then it moved online, and then I ran out of money. So
Hold
then
on
that was
one
like the
second. I love that because that's a reality. You start a business and you got it going, and sometimes you run out of money, but that doesn't mean you stop, right?
right. Right. Yeah, exactly. And so I felt like, man, I'm so good at this. And to be honest, this is like back in 2007 and 8. I didn't know what it looked like to have a business. I didn't know what that was called. There was this new thing of getting your degree in entrepreneurship. And that was very foreign to me. I'm like, what does that mean? Like, how do you just have a business? And even when I had my small business, I at that time being 19, I didn't recognize it as I'm a business owner. It was, I enjoy this, I'm good at this, and I want to do more of it. And so because the thought of being a business owner was just not there, I wanted to work for someone. And so then I started honing my skills, and I knew as soon as I graduated, I was like, okay, I got to hit the ground running and I need to get a really good job. And so I was in San Jose, right there in the middle of all the tech companies. I didn't get any of the jobs with any of the tech companies at all.
Oh my gosh.
My first job out of college was washing cars, and it was awful. And I was like, oh my God, like I'm like right here. I've done internships like all through high school. Like I have a lot to offer, but like I could not get a job. And so while I was washing cars, it was at Enterprise, and they had something called an account manager, and you were like the go-between of their business accounts. And so I was like, well, that looks cool. Like, what is that? And I asked if I could do that job. And they're like, no, you cannot do that job. Like, you have to be in a certain position. You have to be an assistant manager, then a manager, and then maybe. And I'm like, no, I want to do that now. And so then I started looking for jobs with that title where I could just be that person who negotiates contracts for businesses. And so I was able to eventually, a year later, I got a job doing that. And so I started working with smaller companies. I worked in supply chain, and I started working with very small companies in the Bay Area. Then I grew to working with mid-sized companies. And then I grew to working with very large global companies. And that is where I got a ton of experience. And all of that happened within about a 6-year time span, because I was like, I have to move up. I got to move up to the top of this company as far as I can go. And so by the time I was like 25 or 26, I mean, I was killing it. Like, I owned property, like I had like other investments. And at that point, it became very stressful. And to be in your mid 20s and you're speaking on behalf of two large organizations trying to problem solve their supply chain, not just domestically, but internationally, it was a lot. And you know, on television, you'll see people in a boardroom and they're like slamming their fists and they're cursing. That was real life. Like, they would do that and they like, damn it, I'm like fucking telling you, lady. And I'm just like, oh my God, what is this? And I didn't know how to handle that. And I think I had moved too quick too soon. And so it became so stressful for me. And that's when all of these elements started happening. That's when I started having like these daily migraines, anxiety, and weight gain. It was just awful. And so then going to the doctor, being prescribed all of the medications. This is for the anxiety. This is for the migraines. This is for, you know, the fact that you can't sleep, like all these things. And so I just started, you know, being in my 20s, I'm like, I can't do this. I'm too young for any of this. So that I started changing my diet. But that was my background, and the reason why with my company it is able to move a little bit smoothly is because I had all of this experience watching some of the largest companies in the world and how they do business, like being in the background from how they source their products, how it gets here, and how they manage every single department. When you work in supply chain, you have to be involved with customer service. You have to be involved in, obviously, logistics. You're involved with the finance department, also with their IT, all of those things. So I had this view of every aspect of business, from how very small companies do it, mom and pops, to the largest, most successful in the world. And so I took all of that information and I brought it into my company. I made smart investments. And so I am the sole investor in my company.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. And so, but that all comes from that experience from all those years ago.
I love that. You have dropped about 20,000 million gems about entrepreneurship, and we haven't even gotten actually into your product. But I love this so much as we're celebrating Women's Herstory Month. I love this so much as one thing I heard right off the bat: you believed in yourself when others were saying, no, you can't, you can't. How many times do we get that as entrepreneurs? I don't care if you're a man, a woman, it's across the board. You have to have thick skin. You have to have a belief. You have to know who your maker is. You have to have tenacity. And then you have to make a way to make it happen.
Yeah.
Because sometimes entrepreneurship goes into intrapreneurship, as I call it, where you're working for someone else. And then you go back into entrepreneurship. Yeah. And then you go back and forth. I mean, we know this if we've been entrepreneurs, and it's not just a straight path. So I thank you for dropping these gems, because whether you're joining us live, welcome. Thank you, everyone. You're getting a lot of love. I know the real Urel is saying this is so dynamic. Someone saying, hello, fam. someone saying, I love this. I am just stopping you every so often so we can grab these nuggets, these gems that you are sharing, because everyone can be their own boss. But when you're your own boss, you have a lot of bosses. We'll get into that. Probably another session, because that's a whole different thing. But I just wanted to stop and thank you and give you your flowers and acknowledge you for how far you've come. And no matter, yes, health, we're going to talk, that was the inspiration to your product. But we have to take that moment for grace and celebration. So we send you flowers and love right now to know that you are going to continue on. And I can't wait for all that's coming. But since that all happened, then your health issue, then you went and said, okay, I know I'm feeling better eating plant-based. Love you, fam, but I'm not going to die. I don't need meat. It's all good. Chef Sesavec, I know you're going to chime in here in a minute because you're a life since birth vegan. So you are the testament sitting with us and others that we know. But I think it's so beautiful that we can take something that we see works for us and then turn it into a sustainable business. Would you agree?
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's always great when a business and a passion comes together. And I feel like those are some of the best companies. Those are some of the most successful companies because it's pure and it's coming from your heart. And it's not about money. It's not about anything but what you're passionate about and wanting to share it with others. And with my background of working with so many companies, I find that that is the secret sauce, that a lot of these organizations had founders that were so passionate about whatever that idea was, and they wanted to share it with the world. And it didn't matter if people were looking, if they had people who were interested, if they had revenue, investors, it didn't matter, that they were still pushing through because it was that passion that was driving them and wanting to contribute something better to this world and their purpose of why they are here. And so I love when those things collide. I love businesses like that. And I feel so good that I was able to find my passion, because for a while I'm like, I didn't really know what that was. I didn't know what I was good at. Of course, working with businesses, I did a good job in that role. But it wasn't, I don't know, sometimes you're just going through the motions, and like you can be good at things, but it's not like your passion. And I just feel so grateful that I was able to find mine and something that just keeps me going and that I wake up to every day wanting to do, wanting to push forward, no matter what is happening with the business, whether it's on a incline or if it's on the decline, because that happened. The pandemic was a mess for me. It was a disaster, but that passion, it keeps it going. So I love when those worlds can meet, business and passion. It's the
It,
recipe.
it's a magic sauce. So you have Planted Foods. It's plant-based foods and functional wellness. It's clean label. Give us an insight. I'm putting your link to your website. I've put it in the chat so people can go and look even while we're talking. And let's talk about the products. I know chickpeas must be important to you, because that is one of the main ingredients along with your adaptogens. But tell us about how that came about and start wrapping the product together for us, because I know people are going to want to try it.
Yes. So, like I said, I started with the pop-up restaurant. Then we went into grocery stores and we started selling our packaged products online. And when it came to selling the products online, that was great. Revenue, sales were really good there. However, margins are very, very slim, very slim. And so working with retailers, it gets even slimmer as far as the margins go, because now you've got the distributors who are taking a cut. And then my product being unique in the sense that we're not using preservatives or unnatural ingredients, it means that our shelf life is very short. And so there's the time to make the product, for it to get into the hands of the distributor, for it to get to the grocery store, and then for it to be on the shelves, the consumer to buy it, and then have time once they get home to actually consume it. There was not enough time for all of that. And so it started to become such a struggle when it came to the margins and selling direct to consumer. So a couple of years ago, I decided that I wanted to pivot the business a little bit more and start selling direct to other organizations. And I'm from the Bay Area, and so there's tons of companies out there who have cafeterias and they want their employees to eat healthy. And so back when I first started my company, I had the opportunity to work with Adobe and their cafeteria and developing some products for them. And so that experience that I had, it showed me that, you know what, I could probably repeat this. But at that time, I wanted to really go direct to consumer because I felt like this is a product that I created because I wanted to share healthy alternatives with consumers. And so that's the route that I wanted to take. And so then just learning and realizing we got to make money. We have to make money. And so working with organizations allow for that. They buy in volume, and it's one client that I have to sell direct to versus trying to get multiple individuals to make a purchase. It's much easier to sell to a corporation, say, hey, Sutter Health, I got these products. Do you want them in your cafeteria? And they say, yes, it will take X amount of units. So that's what we have moved towards, but I have still wanted to be direct to consumer. And so now we are opening the cafe, which will bring us back direct to consumer. And the revenue right now, it comes from the partnerships we have with companies through private label and stocking their cafeterias. That's where our revenue comes from today. And so now we're taking some of that revenue to open up this cafe in Midtown Sacramento, strategically located right next door to Sutter Health, because I'm calling it now that they're going to be a client of mine. They're not yet, but they will be. I'm just putting it out there into the universe. But so we're going back direct to consumer, and this cafe is going to be that. It will be, I've learned a lot from the past 6 years of running this business. And what I understand that consumers want is they want healthy eating to be easy. And so we had our chickpea based tuna product, but people don't want to add mayo, whatever type that they want, real mayo or fake mayo. They don't want to do that. They don't want to add mustard. They don't want to add onions because they don't want to do any of that. They just want to eat healthy immediately. And so I get that. And then, so I decided that with this cafe that it would be all ready to eat foods. Everything will be already put together. We'll offer breakfast and lunch items. So for me, one of the things that I wanted to do was making our products just aesthetically beautiful and just very attractive, picture worthy. And so we're trying to merge like luxury with healthy eating and also that ready to eat packaging. So that will be available for, as far as when it comes to consumer facing, that's going to be the new. And in the background, we're still going to continue to sell our products to companies and their cafeterias, but we'll be getting back in person through this cafe, which is very, very exciting because I wanted to be back in front of people directly and having them have control of their health and having that ability to learn. And a lot of that's removed when you're going directly with the companies. The people are just eating whatever the company is serving them. They're like, it's vegan, sure, great, I'll take it. But now there will be mindfulness when people are consuming our products. They'll be able to say, like, I know I'm eating this because it has this much protein. I know I'm eating this because it's good for cell function and energy. They'll be able to come to those conclusions. And then in their personal time, when they're away from my business, they can be more mindful when it comes to what they're consuming and reading the labels because they're learning that directly through my organization.
Makes sense. Chef, do we have some comments in the chat that you see?
Yes, absolutely. First, Ashley, I just want to say you are so amazing and you're such a trailblazer. I'm so inspired by your story, your journey. And it's beautiful that your company is called Planted Foods because you planted so many seeds on your journey to where you are right now. And may they continue to flourish and nourish you in years to come. But yes, I just had to say that. I'm
Of
so inspired. Oh my gosh.
course.
Uh, that makes sense. Selling items to larger corporations from Shabby Major, from Uriel. This is dynamic. And we're just getting a lot of hearts and loves and fire emojis in the chat. So yes, thank y'all so much for being here. Right back to you, Chef.
Thank you. I love this because it's like entrepreneur 101, maybe 102 and 103. 6 years. Guys, you can read this in books, but we're getting it live here with Ashley Kirk, the CEO and founder of Planted Foods, bringing plant-based foods and functional wellness together. So Ashley, tell us a little bit about adaptogens, because some may know that because they're drinking a beverage that says to have adaptogens, and some may be, what am I adapting to? I don't know that term. So let's set the table straight. And then now you bring adaptogens into actual food, which is pretty unique, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, it's definitely unique. It's a new concept of its kind. And for me, because this is my lifestyle, this is how I eat, this is how I live. And so a lot of what goes into my business, it comes directly from my personal life. And so I have been incorporating adaptogens into my food for many, many years. And then a couple of years ago, we started seeing it in beverages and lion's mane coming onto the market and ashwagandha. And I'm like, hey, I know those things. Like, I eat that. And so I was inspired by those companies that were adding it into their beverages. And I'm like, well, why don't we take it a step further and add it into the food? Because we're going to eat more than we drink in a day. And so with the adaptogens, they are these remedies that have been around for thousands of years that humans have always abided by. They some are scientifically backed, others are just been passed down for centuries. And basically, what an adaptogen is, it is a herb, it is a root, it is a food that helps with your stress. It helps with reducing stress and also just healing your body. So ashwagandha is one of the most popular right now. It's known for brain health. So look at me, I can't remember. I gotta have some ashwagandha. I'm talking about brain health, and I'm like, what was it for? But so it's good for your brain health. And so I wanted to merge science, because I am a believer in still going to the doctor. I do believe in modern medicine, Western medicine. It's something I do believe in. I wanted to merge that along with the adaptogens, which are old world remedies. I wanted to bring those two together. So in my products, there's a combination of that. So yes, we're using lion's mane, ashwagandha, turmeric, those recognizable adaptogens, but we're also taking into account what's happening in science right now. So a lot of the suppliers that I work with are large organizations that all they do is develop wellness driven ingredients for companies like mine to incorporate into our products, which is kind of interesting because that's where a lot of the fillers and preservatives also come from, to extend the shelf life. Because there's those companies that are developing that the science behind extending the shelf life of your product, but they also do it for wellness benefits. So an example is potassium salt, and there's an organization and it's all FDA approved, and they've been in existence for many years. They have potassium salt, which is a replacement for traditional salt. So a lot of people who can't consume sodium but want the taste of something being salty, now you can incorporate potassium salt into products. And that's something that we're going to start adding into our ingredients. So we're trying to merge what's happening in science to make consumers healthier, but also these old world ingredients that are just known for health and wellness. So that's what we're trying to do. And also with that, we have the studies that are done from our suppliers, but eventually down the line, I want to get to the point where we can have our own team of nutritionists who work for my company that are also helping with developing these recipes. Right now, we outsource them to just figure out, okay, what's the appropriate amount for this product? How much ashwagandha should we put? What's the amount that makes an impact? Or is it, can we put these two types of adaptogens together? So we outsource for that. But eventually I want to be able to house all of that under my company and have those people working directly for us so that we're becoming more and more of a healthcare company than a food company. That is my long-term vision, is that when people think of Planted Foods, that they're thinking, this is a healthcare company. They care for our health. This is what I eat when I want to be well. And that this is an organization that I can trust, that there's no tricks, there's no games, there's not like, oh, it's protein rich. And they don't tell you that it's, a lot of processed ingredients. Like, we want to be transparent with that, and having the right team working for our company will help with that. So that's kind of where we are, and then also where we're going.
I love that. You said, oh, I've got all these aptogens for my brain. But I always say, oh, I need some more ginkgo biloba, because the fact of the matter, we just have fast processing brains. So when you're trying to say something, you've said it 10 times before. That's what I always say. Or it's a slight brain freeze. There's nothing about anything aging in our brains but the adaptogens. The other point you make, food is the first medicine. Food as medicine. Food is health. The first fast food was fruit, apples, oranges. Now, we've done a different thing. You go in the store and they put a vegan label on an orange. I'm like, stop all the marketing. It's food. It's not food. It's food. Let's be real. So I love what you're doing, because your message of health is what we should be eating, food that is going to live for, not to die for. And I think you've got a really strong positioning there. Let's quickly get into, what can people expect? Like, I'm going to walk into your cafe, so maybe give us a preview of this manifestation, because you are the true manifester, and we meet a lot of manifestors. Chef would tell you on Plantish Live. What we're going to walk in the doors. I know Midtown Sacramento. Chef is, on the East Coast, so some people may not know Sacramento. What are we going to walk in, see, have, taste, touch?
Yes. So first coming in, it's going to be beautiful. That, like,
Yes.
the very first thing that you're going to see is that it is beautiful. It feels like home. It feels welcoming. It feels very luxurious. That's the first thing that I want it to feel like. That it's a place you want to be. And I feel with a lot of when it comes to restaurants, when you're in a beautiful environment, it makes you want to eat and be part of it. It makes you want to be there. And so for veganism, a lot of people, there's still not a large portion of the population that are vegan. So I wanted to attract people with how it's going to visually appeal first. So when you see it, you're just like, what's that? I want to go in there. I don't know what it is, but I want to go in. So that's the very first thing when you're coming in, is just the aesthetic. And then once you're inside, we have a very lean business model, because this is I'm very big on numbers and generating profit. So while we are a cafe, it is all ready to eat. So there will be these open air refrigerators. Oh, if you think Press Juicery,
Yes.
or Urban Remedy, it's going to have that type of product placement, where you have these open air refrigerators. Everything is labeled. We have all of the products are going to be categorized into four different houses. So we have protein rich foods, we have cell function and energy, we have low calorie, and then we have overall nutrition. So when you come in, you're just picking what do you need for your body? Are you someone who's looking for protein rich foods? Okay, great. Grab this. And it's going to be color coded as well. These beautiful pastel colors that I have that I have picked out so that you can just easily see over time as people learn our cafe. They'll say, okay, this tannish sandy color, this is all of the protein rich food. So I'm just going to pull all that off the shelf or off the display fridge because I know that that's fitting to my diet needs. Or if you're someone who needs energy cell function, then that color coded product, you'll be able to just grab those. Also, we're going to have beverages there as well. Everything is prepackaged, so it's for convenience. It's for ready to eat and ready to heat. It's going to be convenient for those who want it during their lunch breaks. Again, we're right next door to Sutter Health, so I'm hoping all those employees just come on around into our space to get their food, and people who were there to visit their family who are ailing or not feeling too well, this might be the place to get something to eat at. There'll be beverages, ready to eat, ready to heat foods, and we're doing breakfast items. We're also doing lunch and then things that can be transitional for dinner. So some of the items that we'll have will be like these bagel sandwiches for breakfast. We'll have wraps. We'll have these really beautiful, interesting salads, sandwiches, also some rice-based meals, everything very clean, prepared that day with a 2 to 3 day shelf life, depending on what it is. We'll have like chickpea, a lot of chickpea-based products. We'll have overnight oats and chia seed pudding. And for me, just my personal touch, because I'm a girl, and so edible flowers in everything. So it's just really beautiful. Like it's going to be really beautiful and so welcoming and just encouraging people to want to eat healthy and something that they have not seen before, at least not in Sacramento, because I haven't seen it. And I've been all around, not in this region, but it's going to be something new. It's going to be different, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting.
I love that. Chef, did you see someone? I think someone's trying to buy, Ashley. You've made us hungry. Someone's gone to your website. Do you
Yes.
see that, Chef?
Yes. Greetings. I'm just joining the segment. Plant-based foods is sold out. Do you know when items will be back available?
So everything will be through the cafe going
Oh,
forward. And
okay.
as far as direct to consumer, and then eventually as we get our footing with that, then maybe adding the subscription and shipping element like food service potentially down the line. But for now, it will be, as far as direct to consumer, it will only be that Sacramento location.
Okay, so what's on the website, just because we're always clear with our fam, because look, they're ready to eat and order, Ashley. We don't play up in here. Fam comes in like, let us cook. Let
I
us
don't
cook
think there's
right
anything
now.
the website. There's nothing on the website now because we removed that page because we signed our contract in February, and so the website has been removing things that are not in line with where we're going now as a company, so that we're rebranding everything. So
Okay,
I believe that page was
it's
removed, or is
not.
it still there?
It's not, because I tried to buy earlier.
Not there.
It's so, no worries. We love sold out. We rolled up in here like Ashley is sold out, and we know that. But if we give clarity, then people know. That's all we want to do. And we're super excited. And when you come in our community, Chef, tell her, people move fast. Chef, let's go into some of the questions you have for Ashley, because we're going to wrap it back around, because we know we keep this tight. Ashley, thank you for making the time to come and share with us. We would like you to come back, because we can't wait. I'm here in Sacramento, so I'm gonna be knocking on the door. Open up. Let me cook.
That's beautiful.
That would be amazing. We definitely have to do more together. Like, you're right here. We're in the
Yes,
same place.
yes.
Yeah.
And Chef will fly out.
Oh,
Yeah,
that would
I
be
just
absolutely.
said you would, Chef.
Oh, yeah, I was just about to say, I mean, yeah, I'm on the East Coast, but I am no stranger to the airport. For sure.
you guys will
Again,
have to
Ash,
come to the grand
Yes.
opening.
Do
Absolutely.
you
Please
have an
send over the
idea?
details.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, so we're thinking. So construction's happening. The health permits, they're. It's kind of like delaying things a little bit. So we would had hoped that it would be right now, but it's looking like it will be end of April, early May timeframe. It's so far.
We're in
It looks.
March. That's not too far
Yeah.
off. We've got patience. Okay, somebody that was trying to order your product. You see that, chef? She's in Pennsylvania. Hold tight.
Yes.
Hold tight. Don't go anywhere. It's gonna happen. Just hold tight. We
Absolutely.
are here to support Ashley. We're super excited. I'm trying to stay on my seat and not pull up on you in Midtown today, looking for your address. You don't know me yet, but you'll come to know me. Hey, Joey, welcome in. Go ahead, chef.
Oh my goodness, yes. Again, Ashley, thank you so much for this wonderful conversation. You've given us a masterclass on entrepreneurship. So, yeah, I look forward to reviewing this recording and just jotting down some of the takeaways for sure. But I have a few quick fire questions. You can answer these within 30 seconds or less or more, just so that the audience and we can get to know you a little bit more.
Okay.
So, the first question I have for you, when you transitioned to your vegan lifestyle, what was the first meal that you perfected?
It was a vegan nacho sauce. That was the
Ooh,
first thing that I perfected because I had a cheese addiction previously. So I was like, I gotta figure out how to do cheese again. And so I perfected a vegan nacho cheese sauce. And that was one of
mm,
my products also. And it was the product that sold the most. And then I did the chickpea tuna. So that was like my foundation.
beautiful. I love that. Next question. I'm a huge advocate for self-care and just mental wellness. What does that look like for you? Could you give us one of your top tips?
Oh, absolutely. So every morning I start with meditation. I either read my favorite book, Asking It Is Given by Abraham and Esther Hicks. It is a life-changing book. When I read it, it changed my life. And I got it from Big Sean on his Architect's Digest. And he said when he read it, it changed his life. And I was like, well, if it's good enough for him, it's good enough for me. And so I read that book. Everything changed. And so I practiced the principles of that book every single morning. I either read it or go through a clip, and then I meditate, and then I also journal every single day. And I've been doing so for since 2022. I've journaled every single day, and not about my life, but about how I want the day to go, what I'm grateful for, just really positive things that I like to journal about. So those are my 3 tips. And I feel like if you start your day off right, the other hours throughout the day, it has no choice but to follow and be right as well.
Yes, 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 yes. That is so beautiful. I'm a huge advocate for meditation, journaling, and everything that you just said. Thank you so much for sharing those tips. Next question. If you could only cook with 3 ingredients for 1 week, what would they be and why?
Ooh, baby. Let me see. Okay. It's gonna be rice. It goes really far. I'm gonna say potatoes and let me see. Probably an oil. Probably like an avocado oil of some sort. Because I can still use like herbs and things, right?
Absolutely,
Okay, so
absolutely.
you can do a lot with rice, and then potatoes are my favorite because they could be French fries, they could be mashed, they can be breakfast potatoes, like whatever you want. That's that food. So I would do those 3: an oil, potatoes, and rice.
Listen, if the world shuts down, I'm coming over to you because you know what you're doing. Rice and potatoes, that is the vegan staple. So yes. You can go so many
So
different directions with that.
Yep.
some
Oh
of
my
us
goodness.
lived on that. Ashley, real quick, someone's asking for the name of the book again. I want you to say it so we can just let everybody, and I'll write it in once you say it.
Yes, it is called Ask and It Is Given by Esther and Abraham Hicks, or Esther and Jerry Hicks. The 3 of them. It's the 3 of them.
Okay,
But
thank you.
Ask and It Is Given.
Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you, chef.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Yes. Last question. If you could host a dinner party and invite 3 women, who would they be and why?
Oh my gosh. Okay, it's got to be my mom because she will lose her mind if she finds out that I would not invite her. But between us, it would not be her. But for the purposes of this setting, it'll be my mom. Let's see.
Mom, we love you. We know you're going to watch this, so we're not trying to start no mess over here.
Yes, yeah, I would have started nothing with her. So, mom, it would be Mariah Carey because
Oh,
I always wanted to sing, and I feel like I sound like her when I do my karaoke.
All right.
People tell me I don't, but I really believe I do. I'm like, I know, Mariah and we could like hit some notes together. And then the third person would definitely be uh, uh, Esther Hicks, who is the author of this book. And like when I tell you that book changed my life and everything, I just like, I would want to have dinner with her. I just want to be in the presence. I want to hear. I want to learn. So it will probably be those three for dinner.
Wow. Wow, that sounds like a table to be at. Just make sure I have my invitations. For sure. Thank you so much for answering those questions. That was beautiful.
I love that. Ashley, this has been so fun. I'm going to ask you before we go, because I know you have a busy day. Can you leave those that are with us live and those that are going to watch the replay, since we're celebrating it's Women's History Month, Herstory Month, I like to say, no matter whether you're male or female, every male has a female in their life. What would you say to women that are listening right now or going to listen with regards to all the things you've shared about business and entrepreneurship and belief and tenacity and singing with Mariah Carey?
Oh man, what I would say is just to mindset. Mindset is big. Try to focus inward as much as possible and ignoring noise, because there's a lot of noise in whatever it is that you're trying to do, whether it's just trying to get to work on time or trying to have a business or work out or get in shape, whatever it is, there's always going to be so much noise. And if you focus inward and just a focus on self and finding whatever that means to get you there, life and everything will be so much more enjoyable. And just also focusing on gratitude. If you don't have anything else, make a list of the things that you are grateful for. And even if you have to start with the pen and the paper that you are using to write your list, that is something to be grateful for. So I would just leave that little nugget is, if you can't do the focus on self, then focus on gratitude, because that is going to take you so far if you can just say thank you for whatever it is that you have.
I love that. And where would you like people to follow up with you? We know you're coming back. We've already got that commitment in ink. But where would you like people to follow you most? We know the website is being updated. And so when people go, if you're listening to this replay and you want to go and you've been inspired to purchase, know that that's coming. It's just on hold right now. And that happens a lot. But where should we follow you, Ashley?
Yeah, so you can follow on Instagram, the Planted Foods account. Also on TikTok, I do recipes over there. It's under Planted Foods. And it's like my personal recipes. It's nothing like, over the top. It's just me in my kitchen. So like, don't expect a lot or anything that's like going to be mind blowing. But so on TikTok over there, and then in person, when we open up, I need y'all to come in person. Like anyone who is out there, if you're in the Sacramento area, you got to come in person. You have to support, and that would be the ways to follow me. Is the social media, that's great, but come in person when we do open up, and give us that support so that we can continue to grow, and also just have the opportunity to show people that our products are good, that plant-based living is amazing, and not asking people to change their diet, but just giving you something additional to incorporate. So come see me in person.
We love that. We thank you for being here. We're just, hearts are going, 100% is going, laughing when you I think we're talking about karaoke, but we're going to get a karaoke stand in Planted Foods so we can hear Ashley and tap in with Mariah Carey. We thank you for kicking off our first Tuesday of March, celebrating Women's Herstory Month. We're going to be sharing so much more information regarding you and the success. I always say be careful what you ask for, and that only means ask with intention and gratitude, because sometimes we ask for things and before we get off this live, they'll be landed. And we're talking about, well, that's not what I meant. Ask completely. If you ask for that red Corvette, ask to be able to pay the insurance and the car note. Otherwise, things don't go the way. And you said, I asked for it and it's given. It's given. What's the book? Ask and it will be given. So we are going to, Chef, I'm going to ask you to close us out. Ashley, we are going to be in touch. Fam, thank you for all the hearts. Thank you for taking the time. We know you could be anywhere and you've chosen to be with us. For those of you that are going to be tuning in later, thank you. We know, or I know, and Chef knows, but now you know we are going to be back next Tuesday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this lineup is just continuing in all its brilliance. So we always love to say, go out into your brilliance. Chef, take it away.
Absolutely. Wow. If you're just not joining this session, my only thing I have for you is to go back and watch it from the very beginning. So many gems, so many takeaways. And yes, Ashley, you are the definition of a holistic person. And I just look forward to seeing you grow.
Thank you.
Living the green dream. Thank you so much. All right, we'll see you next time, fam. Walk out into your brilliance. Live the green dream. Have a green drink today until we can have Ashley's food, and we will see you next week. Thank you.
So much. Thank you. I
Thanks.
appreciate you both. Take care.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye,
Bye. Have a good day.
Ashley.
Bye.